I think if you start with the premise that life is important, that life is vital, that your child in your wife's womb is a child, is a living human being, then I think that it becomes laughable, the suggestion that you're going to do anything else except for welcome him into this world when he's born. I think to try to simplify or overcomplicate the process and make it into medical terminology and take away from the reality, but this is a human being with a heart beating, with a soul that yearns for life, that wants to fight and be born. To me, this is an easy one.
Hello, my name is Rachel Hendricks, and I'm the coordinator for Respect Life Ministries here in the Diocese of Trenton. As a Catholic community, we proclaim that every human life is a precious gift from God, and that each person who receives this gift has responsibilities toward God, toward themselves, and toward others, and that society, through its laws and social institutions, must protect and nurture human life at every stage of its existence. We don't have to look far to see the challenges that our culture poses to the understanding that all life is sacred. Right here within the Diocese of Trenton, women are having abortions. Women and men are suffering in the aftermath of abortion. And doctors are counseling expectant parents to terminate pregnancies when prenatal testing reveals a problem. We also see that here in New Jersey, more and more people are accepting of physician-assisted suicide, which has the effect of pushing the ill, disabled, and dying even further to the margins. But there is great reason for hope in the Diocese of Trenton. We have compassionate people working hard to help women and babies in crisis, and we have ministries to offer hope and healing to those suffering after abortion. We have courageous parents choosing life in very difficult circumstances, and we have families who experience joy as they dedicate their lives to disabled members of their family and community. And we have communities of young adults and students who are actively embracing the Church's teachings about life. Join me now as we meet and hear from people from all around our diocese who, through their personal experiences, are building up a culture of life.
We're Gary and Eileen Zimak. We live in Mount Laurel, and we are the parents of 21-year-old twin girls, Mary and Elizabeth.
Hi, we're Dana and Adam Puhark, Catholic parents of 4 children.
Our story is interesting. It starts when we first got married. We struggled with infertility. It was a difficult time for us. And then one day, we found out that Eileen was pregnant. We were very excited. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Never forget it.
I think after finally becoming pregnant, once we were dealing with the infertility, it was almost like, thank you, Lord, you answered our prayers. From now on, it's going to be smooth sailing, and you start to picture ahead. The girl's going to grow up, or the child. We didn't even know we didn't even know we were having 2 girls yet. You just start to picture, well, now things can go smoothly. We could get through the toddler years, then they'll be in high school. And, you know, you start to envision things that would unfold in a way that you would expect, a traditional...
Right, that you see on TV or in a book.
And now we're pregnant once, and we're going to do it again, and it's just going to all fall into place. But God often has other plans, and I think that's what we learned.
Like any young family, we were excited, looking forward to our first child. Every father is thinking about the next great football player, the next president of the United States, the next astronaut. And you're out and you're ready for exciting times, for great times. You're thinking of nothing but happiness and joy and looking forward to raising your family together in the Catholic faith.
We were told that the girls had what is called twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome, and essentially we were faced with a 10% chance of them being born alive.
Right. And this was a Friday afternoon. We went to see the doctor. We had to come back the next Monday. And as we were leaving, the doctor said, if something happens and the girls die over the weekend, don't worry about it. It's nothing you did. You know, and that's what we were left with until the following Monday.
Trisomy 13, the condition that Michael had, is an extra chromosome, 13th pair, and it results in midline problems with the baby. The heart, the lungs, the brain, the digestive tract. So it is a progressive condition that as the baby ages will impact all of those systems that come along the midline of a baby's body.
So it's Monday. We go to our appointment with the doctor who had told us on Friday that there could be a serious problem with not one, but both of the twins. At this point, we knew they were girls because as soon as we found out they were twins, we wanted to know, are they boys or girls? And essentially what he told us was that they had a 90% chance of not being born alive. And that is a brutal piece of news to deal with. They have a procedure called selective reduction, which is essentially an abortion of one of the twins in the hopes of saving the others. When we heard that, I just remember thinking, how could we ever do that? How could you make that decision? So we said, absolutely not. We don't want anything to do with that. And the doctor said, fine, we're just going to try to treat it as best as we can. And there wasn't too much they could do. But then we proceeded to contact, we left there, we were devastated, we were literally felt just sick.
Sick, yeah.
Right? Not knowing what to do. But we prayed and we got our strength back and we started contacting everybody we could think of and asking for prayer.
When they tell you your child is incompatible with life, it's something that's just so overwhelming. You never expect to hear those words. And I felt extreme pressure. It was actually said to me that it would be easier if I chose to abort my son, which was something that I would never have considered. Even to hear the word was just devastating. Michael's life, however long he was able to be with us, was a true gift from God, and we were continuing with the pregnancy no matter what. But when you go forward and continue a pregnancy like this, those emotions that you're feeling that day and during the pregnancy, they don't go away. So it weighs really heavily on you. And now you're surrounded by family and friends and coworkers and trying to move forward and get through those final 20 weeks of pregnancy. You want to meet this child, but you're telling your friends and family, and some of them can't really comprehend what you're going through. They say, well, wouldn't it have been easier? And I thought, easier? How would it be easier? There was no choice for us.
They were born at 28 weeks. Elizabeth stayed in the intensive care nursery for 2 months. She came home. Sorry.
It's okay. She came home and Mary said...
She came home the week before Christmas.
Yeah.
Mary came home the next month, actually Super Bowl Sunday. So she was in for 3 months.
But do you remember the other challenge, the unexpected challenge with Elizabeth? She had to have a heart procedure
done, yeah.
a few weeks after she was born.
Right.
Unfortunately, after 83 hours here on Earth, Michael passed away while he was at home with us.
I'll never forget Michael's last day on Earth. And that as his body was shutting down, and he lay on the bed next to me and Dana, the one thing that will always be there is this little child, this little newborn, clenching his fists and slamming them on the side of the bed because he wanted to live. He wanted to keep going. He wanted to be with us till his last second, till his last moment. He clenched my finger and didn't want to let go. And I wasn't sure what it all meant. And I don't think any father at that moment could really comprehend the power and the majesty of life, of human life, and what Michael was saying to me at that time.
The girls are beautiful 21-year-olds. They're very healthy, thank God. Elizabeth's heart condition is stable. She still needs to see a cardiologist yearly, but otherwise she's doing great. And Mary, thank God, is very healthy as well. She was diagnosed around when she was 4 with autism, high-functioning autism. And that's been a struggle. That's been a struggle for us.
It's not what we expected.
Right.
But I see the blessings that the Lord has brought through this. We've learned patience. We're working on it.
I haven't learned it
We're working on
yet.
patience. And it also, this whole process, having the twin-to-twin transfusion, having the prematurity issues, having the the unexpected heart condition for Elizabeth, the autism for Mary, it's taught us that sometimes your plans, you can make your plans, but God has His own plans, and you don't have as much control as you think you do.
That could be a good thing, also can be a very frustrating thing.
Right.
It's easy to say, oh, it's in God's hands. But when you have to live it every day, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It is. It's challenging. It's challenging. But He has stretched us through what we've gone through.
Yes, definitely.
So that we can help other people. We belong to a special needs support group at St. Joan of Arc Parish, and we find ourselves reaching out to other people who are struggling with some of the things that we've struggled with, and let them know that it's okay. It's okay to get mad every now and then at your kids, right? You're gonna get frustrated.
I don't get mad.
No, you don't, but I do. I have 2 miracle twins, but I get mad at them.
Yeah.
I'm not always grateful, but I am grateful for some things. I would say this process made us grateful for things that other people might take for granted. I'm going to have kids, they're going to go to school, they'll go to college, they'll get great jobs, they'll grow up, they'll get married, they'll have kids of their own. We don't know what our situation is, how it's going to play out. But I do know that the Lord wants them here.
Right.
Being the parents of Michael, seeing him on his journey in life, and then running this organization of the Michael Gerard Puhark Memorial Fund, we have a great chance to see other families with other children, with other conditions, living, fighting for life. And it really has reinforced those things that Dana and I believed from the beginning. And our respect for life has grown tremendously because we see the courage in the parents struggling with children with numerous conditions. And one of the things that is clear is that it is not all sadness and suffering. Those families have joy. They celebrate every day with their child. And whether or not it is guaranteed that that child will have an 86-year lifespan or shorter, there's happiness in those families too. And there's profound courage. And that has only reinforced our respect for life.
Hi, I'm Luke Okupski. I'm a junior at Notre Dame High School, and I'm a part of the Celebrate Life Club.
Hi, my name is Julia Lankovich. I'm a senior at Notre Dame, and I'm a part of the Celebrate Life Club.
To be the pro-life generation means that our generation can make a difference and to change the ways and the beliefs that have come before us.
My mom works with people with disabilities, and I've always been around people with disabilities my whole life, so I hear a lot of stories about how they're mistreated and how a lot of women are told to abort their baby when they find out that they might have autism or Down syndrome or any kind of disability. At school and with my mother, I've spent a lot of time with people with disabilities, and I feel like each one of their lives is a gift, so to take that away is really heartbreaking.
So when I first went to the march, I was a little unsure about whether I'd enjoy it or not, but now I keep coming back every year, and I love it every time.
I've only been to the March for Life once, but I'm going again this year, and I'm really looking forward to going again with all my peers so I get to share that experience again with them.
The March for Life always has a big impact on me because I'm always taken back by the amount of people who are there and have the same beliefs as me, that life is sacred and should be respected.
One of the things that I think is really important about our club's mission is to show that being pro-life isn't just being anti-abortion, and there's more to being pro-life. So something that I really like to do in the club is to bring in speakers about euthanasia or about suicide, because that's an issue that's really touched our school.
I think people take life for granted a lot, but the Celebrate Life Club helped me realize how valuable life was and the importance of loving yourself and your life.
Hi, I'm Christina DeVerso Collins. I am 25 weeks pregnant. My husband Brian and I are expectant first-time parents. When I was in college, I actually interned at a crisis pregnancy center. We also prayed out front of clinics once a month. Was very involved in our pro-life club, with the movement in general. And you really gained a lot of empathy, particularly for women who were in crisis, who were facing unexpected situations. And then getting married, I would say, just with the whole use of natural family planning and having to give up control, that was definitely a big learning experience. And then finding out I was pregnant in a situation that was not expected. Certainly a good thing, obviously, but when anything of this magnitude happens, when you learn about it, of course, there's always that initial surprise and a little bit of fear. And so this has really brought me out of my comfort zone and helped me to trust even more and to understand that God's gifts are not always planned or expected. So
I've always been very pro-life. Never got to go to the marches down in DC when I was a child, so it was really nice to be able to go when I got to grad school, because we lived in DC. So it was really nice to be able to do that. Even for me, being someone who was very excited for this baby, knowing that Christina was pregnant, just seeing the images changes something.
It absolutely changes.
It turns
something.
a corner for you.
It really
Even
does.
when you want the baby.
Absolutely.
It really changes things and makes it far more real. So I think it's very important that we continue to work on legislation. Any little thing we can do up until the point where abortion is finally outlawed permanently, we need to do. So we're very excited, and we're very grateful to the Lord, because His gifts are always far better than we could ever imagine or comprehend or even anticipate in our own minds.
My name is Judy Warankowitz, and I am the facilitator for the Rachel's Vineyard Retreat Ministry in the Trenton Diocese. I became involved in this ministry 18 years ago. One, because I respect life, and two, I saw what the effects of an abortion had on men and women. How the abortion just destroyed them. They destroyed them spiritually, it destroyed them emotionally, and it destroyed them mentally. Many of the women who come and make a Rachel's Retreat weekend, they are broken. They are suffering from depression, anxiety, guilt, and shame. They come to the retreat to be healed. They're looking for God's healing so they can move on with their lives. They are suffering so much. And we offer this retreat within our diocese for these men and women who are suffering tremendously. There are many women and men who arrive Friday night on the retreat, and they tell us, there's no way that I'm going to feel any better, that this is going to be with me, this pain and this sorrow is going to be with me for the rest of my life. Well, during the course of the retreat, with God's love and God's mercy, by Sunday, they are so filled with joy and with peace, and that they know they've been truly forgiven by God and forgiven by their child also, that they leave with a new hope. And that's the reason why I do this. It's because I see God's tremendous grace at work. He can take broken people and heal them. Heal them of their pain. Heal them of their guilt. Heal them of their depression. And He can make them whole again.
I hope that these personal testimonies have moved you to learn more about Respect Life issues and to become more active in building up a culture of life around the Diocese of Trenton. I'm deeply grateful to everyone who generously shared their stories with all of you. I invite each of you to answer the call in your parishes, schools, and neighborhoods to unite in an effort to restore respect and legal protection for every human life. To be what the Holy Father asks us to be, a people of life. It is our hope and expectation that in focusing on the need to respect and protect the lives of the innocent unborn and those who are disabled, ill, or dying, that we will help deepen respect for the life of every human being. Thank you, and God bless each of you.